my actual eyesight is there's a high drive, deep center, go, 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 we're out of here, say ya, playa!
Just like they drew it up in Hollywood, Caladros, the 3-2, swing and a miss! And the Audubon Green Wave have upset the Kingsway Dragons! And this is it for good! The Audubon Green Wave are back in the Final Four! A dog pile on their side!
All right, ladies and gentlemen, welcome to DW Broadcasting's coverage of men's varsity.
From our entire crew, we'll see you tomorrow. Have a good one, folks.
Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, welcome to Friday afternoon edition of Out of Conference Baseball right here from the Hank Greenberg Complex here in Audubon, as it's the Bordentown Scotties and the Audubon Green Wave facing off in a rematch from last year. Now, if you remember last year, we had a funky camera angle. Bordentown said we couldn't set up in the outfield, so the next best thing we could do was we set up down the third base line. We made do with what we could get, and it ended up working out as Audubon led their way to a 6-inning 13-3 win. But this is not the same Bordentown team as we had last year. This team is now 7-2, knocking down every opponent that they can face in the Burlington County Scholastic League, and also holding their own versus some real powerhouses and juggernauts like Allentown, where they led 7-0 against the Redbirds, which went 21-7 last year, but blew the lead and lost 8-7. Still held their own, though, and still were just a hair away from beating one of the top teams in Central Jersey. But Bordentown is still technically considered South Jersey. They're in one of South Jersey's 5 conferences, that being the Burlington County League, because by all definition they are in Burlington County, so that is South Jersey. They're less than 3 miles from my grandparents, who I would consider Central Jersey, but they're right there on the border. That's why we're starting at 4 o'clock today. They had to take about a 35-40 minute hike to get here, but it's going to be worth it. It's going to be a good game. And I will say that I adjusted my schedule to be here because today is broadcast number 300. We had number 250 back in January and number 200 in September. So it was originally going to be a random game that we were going to cover in Belmar for the Thank You Classic. So I lost out on a couple dollars just to cover this one for Audubon because I'm very appreciative of what the Green Wave have offered for me over the past couple of years. And I wanted to make sure that this milestone was one where they would be featured. The Bordentown Scotties, as we said, 7-2 this year. It's going to be the man they call Pulse on the hill. He's going to be on the bump for the Scotties this afternoon, while the Green Wave pull out the left-hander Joe Slavin. He's going to pitch and bat in the cleanup spot for the Green Wave here in game number 6 for them this year. Or excuse me, actually no, they're 4-3. So they've played less games than Bordentown, and while this is game number 8, they're looking to keep their heads above water as right now the 5 seed in South Jersey Group 1 Power Points. As Bordentown is rocking and rolling, Audubon's looking to stay afloat in the playoff race. We'll take a look at starting lineups, first pitch and more after this break. Bordentown right now taking infield, outfield. We'll be back in just a few with our pregame intros and more on Dan Wilkins Broadcasting. All right, for broadcast number 300, Joey Slavin gets the start as the lefty and Holy Family University commit, which has started their baseball program this year. Thank you, Trent. Appreciate it. But the Holy Family commit looking to jumpstart their baseball program in their second season. He enters his last at Audubon, getting the start in this out-of-conference game of yellow on yellow. Don't think that we could have gotten any more confusing for this game, but with Audubon in their bright yellow and Bordentown in their bright yellow, we might need sunglasses on this overcast day. Let's take a look at Bordentown's starting lineup presented by Tommy D's Home Improvement. As led by head coach Chris Glenn, you've got your first three: Elijah Tradigo in left field, Tyler Edmiston, the second baseman, bats second. Luke Guire is the shortstop, batting third. Nick Carlini in right in the cleanup spot. The Forster brothers, Kyle and Andrew, 5 and 6 in the catcher and DH positions. Connor Bell takes the first base spot at 7. Tyler Rozelle at the hot corner in 8th, and Anthony Zubak in center field, batting 9th. Your starting pitcher for the Scotties, led by Chris Glenn, Connor Calora, the man they call Pulse. He's getting started. And here we go. I guess you could call this the Bumblebee special, but
craving bananas right now.
Yeah, I mean, eat your fruits and veggies, kids. Our first broadcast was on October the 5th, 2021, with a boys soccer matchup between Audubon and the Sterling Silver Knights from Green Wave Park. And today, right down the street, with a team in yellow and another team in yellow, we go from number 1 to number 300. Joey Slavin's first pitch, high and away, 1-0. And we are underway from Green Wave Park. To Elijah Tradigo, that one is outside, 2-0. Well, one of the things that's been a hot topic for everybody when it comes to Joey Slavin has been his control. I mean, he can get the fastball up to the high 80s and the 87, 88, 89 mark, but it doesn't really mean jack squat if he can't throw a strike. And we had this problem in the Lenape scrimmage, or I think it was the Clearview scrimmage actually, and that's ball 4. 4-pitch walk for Slavin, and Tradigo gets on base. So here's the number 2 hitter, Tyler Edmiston, the second baseman. He finally gets a strike down there. It's 0-1. Edmiston tapped out to third. It's a fair ball. Caladros to second for 1, and he'll hold the throw at second. Jack Dempsey gets the fielder's choice, and Edmiston reaches first. Tradigo is retired, 1 away. Here's the number 3 hitter, Luke Guire. Bordentown 7-2 this year with an undefeated 4-0 record in the Burlington County Patriot Division. You know, like I said, this is not the same team that was 10-run by Audubon in 6 innings last year. This is not the same team at all. They have improved. Their team is still young. You've got juniors like Luke Guire and Tyler Rozelle, Nick Carlini as well. A lot of these teams are made up of class of 25 guys that have already developed really well. It's 1-1. So that might be why, you know, they threw Slavin out there. They're like, oh, Bordentown's not really much of a threat because Audubon beat them 13-3 last year. But you got to do a little deeper research into it, and you got to say, hey, Bordentown held their own versus Allentown. They lost 8-7. They lost on opening day to Cinnaminson 7-0, but that's opening day. It was a rainy day at Bordentown, and the ball was hard to grip. But they beat Steinert, Florence, and New Egypt, Nottingham, Mapleshade, Pennsauken, and NBC. Diving stop, Dempsey flips it to second for 1, and Wiltsey holds on to it. That's another fielder's choice and a nice web gem from Jack Dempsey. There's 2 away. Here's Nick Carlini. So back-to-back fielder's choices for the Scotties. 0-1 to the lefty and junior Carlini. But Bordentown has won 7 of their last 8, including 4 in a row. So this is their biggest test yet. You know, I'm not saying that NBC and Pennsauken and Mapleshade aren't threats, but they 10-run Nottingham, which was a decent program in Central Jersey. You know, they've got a lot of great ball players on there that we covered in July in the American Legion. In that summer action down at Belmar Rec. It's 2-1. The southpaw bat Carlini, a career .306 average. That's a strike. 17 RBIs in his career, 33 for 108. Had 17 walks in the 2023 season, as many as he had singles. Went 18 for 56 in his sophomore year, and Slavin gets the strikeout. Side retired. Audubon lets up a couple base runners, but back-to-back fielders' choices and the strikeout stall the threat. We go to the bottom of the first. No score. Green Wave grab the bats. Connor Calora, the man they call Pulse, the 6'2" junior, he gets the start for the Scotties after 8 scoreless innings to start his 2024 campaign. He will face the future Rutgers shortstop, Tyler Wiltsey, as the leadoff man. For the rest of the Audubon starting 9, let's take a look at their starting lineup, presented by Tommy D's Home Improvement. Your first 3 is Tyler Wiltsey at short, Ryan Zimmer behind the plate, and the rah-rah Trent Banel in right field. Joey Slavin takes the P and DH spot in the cleanup position, and Nick Caladros at third, Jack Dempsey and Bryce Dempsey respectively in the 6 and 7 in second base and left field. Connor Jester, the freshman at first base, bats 8th. Charlie Copsetta, the Camden County commit in center, rounds out the order. 0-1. Wiltsey pokes one in the center field. That's a base hit. Audubon, of course, took some tough losses this past week, an 8-2 loss at home to Haddon Heights. And along with that, a viral 4-3 loss to Delsey on Saturday. They got, let's just say, fooled in front of the entire world as a game-ending hidden ball trick by Delsey that got Trevor Donnelly out at second base to end the game went viral. That game was covered by our good friends over at BFA Productions. There's a version of it on Twitter that has over 17 million views. And it's Audubon's viral moment, but not for a great reason. Throw down to second base. The throw beats Wiltsey, but he's in there at second base safely. Stolen base for the junior, and it's 1-1. And especially with the loss earlier in the week to Haddon Heights, that obviously added a very fresh wound to an already bleeding spot. but they've been able to patch it up. They got 2 wins over Sterling and Collingswood this past week when we were covering Rutgers-Camden. They beat Sterling 16-6. First time in a while that it didn't end in a mercy rule, but they played the full 7 innings, and Collingswood went down 8-1. Both of those games were on the road. And, I know Audubon is always a very strong home team just because of their supportive fan base, but a lot of the time, if you can only win your games at home, that says a lot about your team and your ability to adapt to different environments. So the fact that they got those 2 wins against conference opponents on the road made things a lot better for them. Count is full to Ryan Zimmer. The defensive lineup for Chris Glenn's Scotties. You've got Kyle Forster behind the plate, Connor Calora on the hill, Connor Bell at first, Edmiston at second, Guire at short, Roselle at third, and in the outfield, Tradago left, Zubak in center, and Carlini in right. That one's poked out to second base. A nice rebound out there to adapt to it by Edmiston, and there's one away. Wiltsey did make it down to third on the play. So here's Trent Bennell. Audubon plays tomorrow in the Thank You Classic. That's in Elk Township down near Delsey. They play Rancocas Valley. Now, for our Audubon viewers, we will be covering the Thank You Classic, but unfortunately not the Audubon game. Our schedule for tomorrow is Gloucester versus Kings Christian at 9 a.m., Red Bank Catholic and Gloucester Catholic, 2 of the top 10 teams in the state, along with the number 1 and number 2 non-public teams in the entire state of New Jersey. They square off at 11:30. We've got another battle of North versus South. St. Peter's Prep of Jersey City squares off against Cherokee at 2 o'clock. We close out the night with Delsey versus Notre Dame, 2 top 20 teams in the state. That's a 7 o'clock start at Belmar Rec. Count is 2-0 to Trent Bennell. There's a strike right down the pipe. It's 2-1. Sunday, we've got 2 more games in Brooklawn. 2 o'clock is Toms River East versus Bayonne. And 4:30 is Pope John versus Donovan Catholic in another non-public matchup. 2-1. Poked out towards the right side. Picked up. Ranging to his left, and Wiltsey will score on the RBI ground out. It's 1-0 Green Wave. Just realized what that is on the mound. That's a angry green wave, except it's in black and white. I know our pitching coach Wade Geist does a lot of mound designs. He did one for the Ralph Shaw, did one a couple weeks ago. Didn't do one obviously when we were playing Heights because it was in the rain, so it didn't really hold up. But reminds me, I think it's the Tulane logo that he drew up there behind the plate, but. Used a lot of chalk for that one, a lot of precious chalk. That one's outside to Slavin, and it's 2-0. Audubon has rebounded to get above 500 for a 4-3 record. After their loss to Delsey, they were below a 500 record after 5 games for the first time since 2010. There's a strike, and it's 3 balls, 1 strike. Joey Slavin, the left-handed hitting senior in the small sample size this year, 4 RBIs, 2 for 5. As he fouls that one back, count is full. Career 270 average, 351 slugging, 20 hits across 74 at-bats, most of them being in the 2023 campaign. He had 18 hits and had as many RBIs, but that won't be one of them. A swing and a miss by Slavin. Both teams send 4 men to the plate, but the difference is Audubon gets 1 across. RBI ground out by Trent Bennell sends us to a 1-0 score after 1. Janara Furness, the team photographer. She's hanging out down the third base line, getting some quality shots down there. Audubon leads 1-0. RBI ground out by the number 3 hitter Trent Bennell kicks off the offense, and it's 1-0 from Slavin. Come on, John, let's go! 2-0 to the Forster brother, Kyle Forster, the catcher here for the Scotties. Strike 1. 2 balls, 1 strike. Kyle Forster, the senior catcher, .333 average this year, 8 for 24. Had a home run versus Steiner on April 5th. It's 3-1. Connor Calora ended the first inning with 18 pitches. There's a strike. And the count is full. 3 balls, 2 strikes. A career .309 hitter. 21 RBIs, 34 for 110, had that lone home run back in April. Has 9 career extra base hits across 3 seasons. There's a line drive. That one skips off of Caladros. I think that skipped off of his glove, and it goes into left field. Bordentown's got their first hit of the night. Feels funny to say because they got a whole bunch of base runners on, but it was a walk and 2 fielders' choices in a row. So technically they got 3 runners on. It was just never more than 1 at a time. So here is the second half of the Forster family. Andrew Forster, the DH, setting up shop here in the number 6 spot for Bordentown. First pitch to Andrew Forster is outside, and it's 1-0. Two balls, no strikes. One's outside, 3-0. Just obviously a concerning mark because you don't want to give up those walks, and the last thing you want is just to, I don't want to sound like a pessimist too much, but obviously your concern is Slavin being able to throw strikes, because think about the future. Next year he's going to be throwing for a D2 university, and he's got the velocity, but if you can't throw strikes, then I always call back to that sign that was at the Washington Nationals bullpen in spring training down in West Palm Beach. It said, "I don't care how fast you throw a ball for." And it's a true statement. Whether you throw 95 or 75, if you can throw strikes, you're going to be a valuable pitcher. But if you're just throwing darts at a wall and you don't care where they land, I'm not saying Joey's not trying or anything. He's obviously trying. He put in a lot of work over the offseason. But he's right now just taking a little while to get into that groove. It seems like those first couple batters of the inning are always the toughest to get, and then once he's got it's like he's the reverse of what usual pitchers are, where once he's in pressure, he improves. Because once he's got no pressure, if he's got nobody on base, it just seems like it's a little bit looser with the way he throws, and just the fact that he throws the fastball, but it just doesn't hit the board. However, in this case, with 2 runners on and nobody out, versus the lefty, Bell, he's ahead 0-2. And now he's ahead 0-3. Strikeout number 2 for Joey Slavin. There's one away. One-oh. One-on-one.
That was a great pitch.
Definitely got it in there and had it with some zip as well. There's another strike. 1-2. I told you. He's working well under pressure. What was that? The Rush album from '85. Grace Under Pressure. 2-2. To Roselle, the third baseman, with 2 runners on for the Scotties. And the batter just saw the after image. 2 down. Strikeout number 3 and 2 in a row for Slavin. 2 down.
Keep talking about how he's not throwing good strikes. Let's go.
Oh, yeah.
It's working.
Well, that's what we were talking about earlier. Is that last inning, gave up a leadoff walk, 2 fielder's choices in a row, and then a strikeout.
Right.
This inning, a single, a walk, then 2 strikeouts. And yes, the after image reference, that's a Rush song from the Grace Under Pressure album. So, don't know how many of my viewers are prog rock enthusiasts, but it's 1-1. Everybody knows on my broadcast I slip in a couple niche references throughout there that like 5% of my viewer base will understand. To the number 9 hitter, Zubak. That one skips in. 2-1. Slavin looking to strand 2 runners on base, both of them the Forster brothers. That one's poked out towards right. It's over Chester's head. That's a base hit. Rounding third, Kyle Forster. Throw to the plate is going to be late. It's an RBI single for the number 9 hitter, Zubak. And it's 1-1. Runners on first and second here for the Scotties after the base hit by the bottom of the order levels this game up. So now Andrew Forster on second and Zubak on first. First pitch is a strike to Tredago. One ball, one strike. That one skips away from Zimmer. Now 1 runner went, 1 stayed. Throw down to third is in time. He got him. A bit of a subdued reaction. We didn't know what the call was at first, but that's going to be an out to retire the side. So Zimmer rebounds on what would have been a wild pitch and ends the inning that way. We go to the bottom of the second. Bordentown levels this game at 1. Bottom of the second inning, Bordentown and Audubon tied up at 1. An RBI single at the bottom of the order by Anthony Dzubak. That one's a ball to the number 5 hitter, Nick Caladros. Two-oh. Two balls, one strike. Joey Slavin with 41 pitches after 2 frames. That one's outside, 3-1. That's a strike to Caladros, and it's 3-2. 5, 6, and 7 due up for the Green Wave in the bottom of the second. Caladros and the Dempsey brothers. Bryce, or rather Jack and then Bryce. And that's ball 4. Leadoff walk for Caladros. Audubon had a leadoff hit from Tyler Wiltsey, but nothing more. They got across a run on the RBI groundout. And now here's a bunt by Jack. Goes back to the mound. And a throw over to first is in time. Caladros advances to second. There's one away. And here's Bryce Dempsey. Quick update on the out-of-town scoreboard. Haddon Heights is pouring it on over Haddonfield. They lead 8-0 going to the bottom of the second. Big score update there. There was a 2-run home run by Austin Boker. Wildwood leads Woodstown 1-0 at the end of the second inning. And after 1 inning in the Thank You Classic opener, Paulsboro and Spotswood are tied up at 2. Thanks to Bill Gore for getting us those updates. And in Shore Conference action, Wall and Rumson Fairhaven are tied up at 0-0 at the end of the third. 2 balls, no strikes to Bryce Dempsey. He's got a runner in scoring position here. And there's a strike. Gets one right down the pipe, and it's 2-1. Big lead off a second from Caladros, but he holds up, and it's 3-1. And there's a strike, 3-2. Shawnee and Morristown are tied up 0-0 in the top of the fourth. And there's a strike 3 on the outside corner. Dempsey down on strikes. And Calora's got another strikeout. 2 down. So both Dempsey brothers go down, and here's the freshman Connor Chester. Connor Chester, obviously a very hyped up prospect here for the Green Wave. Still getting used to the high school pitching though. 3 for 18 with 3 singles, 1 RBI. Started off the year 0 for 10, but he slowly clawed his way back to fruition. However, in this AB, he's quickly down 0-2. If the inning continues, the number 9 hitter and Camden County College commit, Charlie Compsetta, will be up next. Speaking of Camden County, we'll be back in Blackwood for baseball versus the Bergen Bulldogs on April 23rd for a 3 o'clock start. Outside corner doesn't go. 1-2. Audubon's got a busy week. From the 20th to the 27th, they'll play 5 games. Rancocas Valley on Saturday in the Thank You Classic. As here's a ground ball to Guire at short. Throw across is in time. Side retired. Bordentown takes care of business and leaves the runner in scoring position. We're through 2 out of 7. Here between the Scotties and the Green Wave, we're tied up at 1. In life, the road ahead is full of possibilities, but to navigate it safely, you need the right skills. Harper Driving School is the premier driving school serving Gloucester, Salem, and Camden counties. With experienced instructors, many of whom are teachers in local schools, we are dedicated to your success and will help you master the road with confidence. With an over 95% success rate of students passing their road test on their first try, you know your student will be in good hands while embarking on a huge step of their young adult lives, all while avoiding the lines at the DMV and getting insurance discounts.
We chose Harper, and so should you.
Top of the third inning, still rocking here with Joey Slavin with 41 pitches through 2 innings. Start off the third with 2, 3, and 4, Edmiston, Guire, and Carlini for the Scotties. First pitch, in the words of Bob Euchre, just a bit outside. It's 1-0. Edmiston got on board via a fielder's choice, but nothing more in the first inning. Count is 2-0. From the senior left-hander, he kicks and delivers. That one's high and away. It's like clockwork. It's 3 innings in a row where he's just not gotten it together when he takes the hill, and then just something awakens and he's able to throw strikes again after a couple of batters. Again, as we said, 2, 3, and 4 due up for the Scotties here in the third. Poked foul, 3 and 2. You're watching coverage of Audubon Green Wave Baseball right here on Dan Wilkins Broadcasting. If you have any questions or comments about today's broadcast, drop me a line at thedanwilkinsshow@gmail.com. Swing and a miss. He started to run down the first, but that was not necessary, and he's retired, 1 away. Slavin with 4 strikeouts now through 2 1/3. This brings up Luke Guire, who also got a fielder's choice and was subsequently retired in the first. Breaking ball outside. And then I hope my mic picked that up. That was hilarious.
Forgot to put on his glasses?
No. So what he just said to Charlie was, "Dude, I failed my chem quiz so bad today."
Oh no. Well, now his mother knows.
So he said, as soon as the paper was put on his desk, he said, "I don't know any of this." He's like, "Oh no, I'm done."
I hope his parents aren't listening.
3 and 1. That's ball 4. Don't worry, Trent. I've failed several chem quizzes in my time. That's ball 4. This is hilarious to listen to. But 1 away, runner on first here after the walk to Guire.
I knew I missed something.
Some of the stuff you hear in the outfield is hilarious. But I mean, when I played baseball, I was the right fielder very often, but I didn't talk a whole lot. I think that's maybe just because I wasn't very chatty to begin with. But Bentel's a good kind of chatty.
Yeah.
He brings the energy to this team that I've said time and time again, you know, kind of puts this team on a different pedestal. There's chemistry, and then there is chemistry. And that's what Trent Bentel is. He is, you know, some part of the glue that holds this team together.
Absolutely.
And he's still got a year left.
Oh, he's only a junior.
He is a junior,
Okay.
class of 25. So he doesn't have one foot out the door yet. You know, he's still here for 2 more years. And, you know, look, 3-sport athlete, the goalkeeper with over 200 saves for the boys soccer team, and a track and field runner in the winter, and a baseball right fielder. There's a lot of guys on this team that are 3-sport athletes. I know Chester is a 2-sport athlete. He plays power forward for basketball and first base for baseball. Copsetta is a football wide receiver and baseball center fielder. And of course you've got Tyler Wiltsey, who also does boys soccer as well as the forward. Here comes the throw down to second. He got him. That retires the side. We go to the bottom of the third. 1-1. Tommy D's Home Design Center has opened a second location on Creek Road in Belmar, operating in Philadelphia for over 25 years and now expanding into South Jersey. Tommy D's is the place to go for kitchen cabinets, countertops, and cabinet accessories, heavily discounted compared to big box retailers. Stop in, take a seat, and watch as our experienced kitchen designer makes the kitchen of your dreams right in front of you. Tommy D's is the best in the business for quality kitchen countertops and cabinets that fit all budgets. Call us today at 856-210-9504 or visit the new location in person on the corner of Creek Road and Harding Avenue in Belmar next to the 42 on-ramp. Bottom of the third, let's take a look at that DWB replay of the stolen base that ended the inning. Boys soccer as well as the forward. Here comes the throw down to second. He got him. First pitch tapped out in front of the mound, and there's one away. Copsetta is retired, and we turn it back over to the top of the order. 1-1 Audubon and Bordentown tied up in the bottom of the third. The teams traded RBIs in the first and second. Tyler Wiltsey, who had a base hit in the bottom of the first, gets us started here with one away. (3-0). And it's 3-1. fly ball at the straightaway right, going over and making the catch will be Carlini. There's 2 away. Looks like he took a step back and then was able to corral himself and bring him back in. I don't think he saw it right away. I mean, I've said before, it's always difficult to see the baseball on overcast days like these just because the sky and the ball might be the same color. So at least you've got that depth of field that can help you out in seeing, which is coming towards you. But if you don't have that, 20/20 vision, I've seen some guys, especially if they wear contacts or glasses in the outfield, they actually have a lot of trouble seeing the baseball when it comes down in the outfield, just because there's a lot of factors to go into it. But if you don't see the baseball coming towards you, you might be out of luck either way. There's a strike to Zimmer, 2-1. Slavin ended the third with 56 pitches. Calora now at 44. There's another strike, 2-2. In the top of the fourth, Carlini would resume his at-bat, followed by the Forster brothers in the 5 and 6 spots. He delivers. Down. 3-2. Popped up foul. Full count pitch, and the payoff is poked foul. Going to the bottom of the third, Haddon Heights leads Haddonfield still 8-0. Payoff again. Zimmer, hot shot back up the middle. Nice stop by Guire. Throw across. In time, he got him. Luke Guire ranges to his left and takes care of business. Audubon goes down in order. 3 down here in Audubon. 1-1.
Garden State Pet Center is an independently owned full-service pet store. Our specialty is promoting companionship between people and animals by providing the healthiest product choices available, including all-natural foods, supplements that support and relieve health issues, and innovative products for pet parents. Our goal is to provide our customers with a relaxing environment, and while we're not striving to be the biggest store on the East Coast, we're striving to be the best. No other pet store will make you feel at home like we do. At Garden State Pet Center, we view pets as members of the family. We don't believe in fast, high-pressure sales, but instead matching up the right pet with the right owners, as you are making a lifelong commitment. Together with our team members, we would like your visit to our store to be both enjoyable and educational. Simply drop in and take a look around. View the birds, reptiles, small animals, toys, food, cages, and miscellaneous items. Learn of the services we have to offer and decide for yourself if this is the store you'd like to call your home away from home.
Victor Santucci, owner of Garden State Pet Center. Visit us today at 226 South Whitehorse Pike in Audubon, New Jersey. We're open 7 days a week for all of your pets' needs.
Here in the top of the fourth, it's time for DWB Trivia Time. Today's question is, the San Francisco Giants were very close to relocating to Tampa Bay in 1993, but the signing of this free agent was the one that saved the franchise. Was it Barry Larkin, Mark McGwire, Barry Bonds, or Jeff Kent? 4 very popular players in the 90s. The answer will be revealed in the bottom of the fourth inning. Count is 0-1 from Slavin to start the fourth. Hot shot hits off the pitcher's mound, and Wiltsey stops it. Throw across is a mile over his head. It goes into Walnut Street. And that's a 2-base error there by Wiltsey. Can't really blame him too much just because that was a funky play to start. It probably should have just been a base hit, but kudos to him for stopping it. Unfortunately, instead of what would have been one base, it ends up being two. So a leadoff E6 by Kyle Forster brings up his brother Andrew, and it's 1-0. Slavin now with pitch number 60. That's a fly ball, hit well out towards left. Dempsey is there, backpedaling, he makes the catch. Kyle Forster holds at second, and there is one away. One away here in the top of the fourth. First pitch foul ball deep down the right field line. Connor Bell struck out his first time. There's a strike, 0-2. That's a swing and a miss on a check swing. Chester picks it up. And there's two down. Strikeout number 5 for Joey Slavin. I apologize. Here is Connor Bell. Well, I was just about to announce that Cherry Hill West is leading Bishop Eustace 12-4 in the third inning. And then I realized that it's a 12-4 game in lacrosse, posted by our good friend Tom Rimback. Because it just said end 3, Cherry Hill West 12, Bishop Eustace 4. I'm thinking, wow, what an upset. But no, that was men's lacrosse.
I have no idea what kind of score that would be normally.
2-1. I mean, lacrosse is a very interesting sport, and I think it's gained a little bit of notoriety in South Jersey just because a lot of programs are adopting it. Here's a ground ball to second base. We'll hold that thought, though, as the side is retired. Bordentown goes down and leaves the runner in second base. Going to the bottom half of the fourth, we're still tied up 1-1. In life, the road ahead is full of possibilities, but to navigate it safely, you need the right skills. Harper Driving School is the premier driving school serving Gloucester, Salem, and Camden counties. With experienced instructors, many of whom are teachers in local schools, we are dedicated to your success and will help you master the road with confidence. With an over 95% success rate of students passing their road test on their first try, you know your student will be in good hands while embarking on a huge step of their young adult lives, all while avoiding the lines at the DMV and getting insurance discounts.
We chose Harper, and so should you.
Bottom of the fourth inning, it's time for DWB Trivia Time. Today's question was, the San Francisco Giants nearly moved to Tampa Bay in 1993, but the signing of this free agent prevented them from moving. Was it A, Barry Larkin, B, Mark McGuire, C. Barry Bonds, or D. Jeff Kent? First pitch misses. And producer Donna, your guess?
Mark McGuire.
You'd be incorrect. That would be C. Barry Bonds.
Oh.
Barry Bonds was a two-time MVP with the Pittsburgh Pirates and signed a large deal of 8 years with the Giants in 1993, but there were rumors that the Giants would relocate to Tampa Bay, as here comes a nice shot off the third. Throw down to first, gets away. That's going to skip off the fence. No dead ball is called. They should have called a dead ball on that. That was outside of the cones. It should have been a dead ball, but it doesn't matter. Same result. An E5, and Bannell gets down to second base.
We'll take it.
It was the same result either way.
Yeah.
We'll just say that. Both teams now with one error in the field. And this brings up Joey Slavin with the go-ahead run on second. But this is not, this is polar opposite of the game we saw last year in Bordentown. It was 13-3. Audubon won easily in 6 innings. They didn't really have their best stuff, but Bordentown, they are fighting for their 8th win and what would be their 5th in a row. But yeah, Barry Bonds signed a large deal with the Giants in 1993, and the money from that, along with the fan revenue and interest generated from signing this massive free agent, was what kept the Giants in San Francisco. And of course, Tampa Bay eventually got their own team, the Devil Rays, in 1998, but that was really the first major buzz of getting a team in Florida, because if you remember, before 1993, there were no Major League Baseball teams in Florida. The Florida Marlins were created as Major League Baseball's 27th team in 1993, and that was the same year that the Giants were supposed to move to Tampa Bay. So basically, they were going to go from having 0 teams to 2 in the span of a year. Slavin takes outside, 3-1. Now, the interesting part of it all was that it kind of reminds me of a couple of years ago in the NFL when there was the St. Louis Rams and the San Diego Chargers, and LA had 0 NFL teams. And over the course of 1 year, I think it was over the course of 1 or 2 years, they went from having 0 clubs to having 2 in the city of LA. Now, of course, San Diego only moved maybe 2 hours up the road to LA. Meanwhile, St. Louis relocated to LA after a good 20-30 years over in Missouri. So that's a little different, but yeah, these guys almost moved to Tampa, but it didn't take that long for Florida to get 2 teams after having 0. It just took 5 years. They got the Marlins in 1993, and they got the Devil Rays in 1998, which has been Major League Baseball's latest expansion, 25 years ago. Popped up third base side. It's a foul ball. Looked like it just missed down the corner. The shortstop, Guire, and the left fielder, Tradago, went for it, and nobody caught it. So the count's still 3-2. That's a bullet in the center field going back. That one is over his head. It skips off the center field fence, and that's a ground rule double. That will be an RBI double as Trent Bannell scores the go-ahead run, and Joey Slavin one-hops the 351 sign. It's 2-1. With how the grass is in Audubon, you do not see a lot of ground rule doubles. You've got to have a perfect angle on that. And it just, it barely got out. It one-hopped. I think it hit off of that turf patch in center field that's covering a manhole cover. And the yellow strip in center field, it barely got out. So Joey Slavin returns to second base, and with nobody out, here's Caladros. Fouled back. 0-1 to Caladros. So Bandel scored after the ground rule double. Caladros takes it 0-2. That was pitch number 60 for Calora. We've now got the baseball that will return to the Green Wave. Throw back to second, nothing going on. Joey Slavin on second base. Audubon took the lead with a 2-1. And now an 0-2 from Calora. Swing and a miss. He got him. One down. Strikeout number 3. Looks like a little shower band is possibly going to come through here. As here's the number 6 hitter, Bryce Dempsey. Or Jack Dempsey, excuse me. Yeah, it looks like just a little pop-up because we didn't have this expected to come through. When we got here at 3 o'clock, it said there was a 0% chance, and it jumped up to 95%.
They lied.
Well, they're not always accurate. That's the problem, but that's something out of their control, you know. I know some meteorologists very well, and they do their best to make the predictions, but they're not always perfect. It's 0-2.
I like Banel with a chemistry test.
And you were the one that told me to stop.
I know. I couldn't resist. Sorry, Banel.
The 0-2. Strike 3 on the outside corner. Back-to-back strikeouts for Calora. 2 down. And that earned run on the RBI groundout was the first earned run across 12 innings of work for Connor Calora this year. He had 8 scoreless innings going into tonight's appearance, and that one's outside. Another out-of-town scoreboard update. Paulsboro and Spotswood are tied up 2-2 after 2 innings, so we may have, knock on wood, bought ourselves some time. Fly ball at the straightaway center. And Zubak makes the catch. Side retired. Audubon takes the lead on a RBI ground rule double by Joey Slavin. After 4, we've got 9 outs to play. 2-1 Green Wave. ...9504, or visit the new location in person on the corner of Creek Road and Harding Avenue in Belmar next to the 42 on-ramp. New pitcher for the Green Wave after 4 strong 1-run frames by Joey Slavin. Bryce Dempsey takes the hill. The class of 2024 senior and twin of Jack Dempsey. Starts off the first at-bat of the night for him with an 0-1 count. A career 2.82 ERA. He has been scoreless through 6 innings in relief this year. Ground ball to Wiltsey. Throw across the diamond is in time. 1 away. Roselle is retired, and here is Anthony DeZubak. Audubon is 1-1 all time in their matchups versus Bordentown. Bordentown won in their first appearance 6-3. And then Audubon won 13-3 in their second meeting on May 1st of last year. Here's a ground ball. Wiltsey has trouble with it, rebounds, and he got him by a step. 2 down. Did my camera catch that jump by Trent Bannell? He leaped about 4 feet in the air. There's 2 down.
I think so.
Forget baseball. You should do acrobatics. Sign him up for the gymnastics team. 2 down now. 2 quick outs for Dempsey, looking for his 7th scoreless inning of the year.
Oh my goodness, you absolutely got it.
We got it?
It was so awesome.
He just leaped straight up in the air.
It was like Cirque du Soleil.
I know. I didn't know you could do that with no momentum. That one skips in.
I'd give that one a 9 out of 10.
1 and 1. What's that?
I give it a 9 out of 10.
9 out of 10? That one's good. That was good. Poked foul. 1 and 2. First baseman Connor Bell warming up in the pen for the Scotties. The lefty getting ready for what could be his first relief appearance of the night. Strike 3. Make that 7 scoreless innings for Bryce Dempsey. He forces 2 ground balls and a strikeout to retire the side. Moving along here in Audubon. Bottom of the 5th on the way. 3-1 Green Wave. Here in the bottom of the 5th. You're watching coverage of Audubon Green Wave Baseball right here on Dan Wilkins Broadcasting as we set up shop for Calora outside. This broadcast is brought to you by Harper Driving School. Driving to success today. Why? 95% of students pass their road test on their first try with Harper. Make an appointment today with Tim by visiting Suite 4 of the Harper Driving School, visiting Suite 4 of the Total Turf Experience Complex in Pittman, right off of Lambs Road. 2-0 to Chester. He rockets one that gets past third in the left field, a base hit. An easy play in left, and Chester has varsity hit number 4 on his young, sprawling career. And this now brings up the number 9 hitter, Charlie Copsetta. Don't forget, folks, we have one more broadcast after this. There will be no post-game interview today, regardless of who wins, because we'll be packing up shop and heading right down the road to Belmar Rec for Haddon Township and Timber Creek as we kick off an 8-game weekend with the Thank You Classic at 7 o'clock. A bunt by Copsetta rolls out to the mound. Calora throws the first, a little wide, but Guire gets it down. One away. Chester advances to second.
Some great fundamental baseball right there.
That's something that Audubon is, across my 3 years of covering this team, something that they've vastly improved on. I mean, look, you've got a legendary head coach in Rich Horan, who's right now at 595 career wins. And looks like they're going to intentionally walk, unless I missed something, Tyler Wiltsey. Here's Zimmer. But no, I mean, the thing is that 2 years ago in 2022, when we first covered them, they had no bunt defense. They weren't really that great at bunting either. But they have very slowly improved on that, and that's become a crucial part of their game. Really, anybody in the order can bunt, and that's something that they have hammered into these guys through the practices over the offseason, is that, you know, that's going to be a crucial part of their game, because not every team has that in their arsenal. Zimmer pokes one over the second baseman's head into right center field. Chester's going to round third. He'll truck home. The throw will not beat him, and an RBI single for Ryan Zimmer pushes the envelope. It's 3-1. Ryan Zimmer gives Audubon a little insurance run here in the fifth, and it's a 2-run game, 3-1. Here's Bannell. Throw back to first, not in time. But really the turning point for Audubon in that scenario, I really think about 2022, the game versus Woodstown, where the 7 seed upset the 2 seed. Wiltsey, or rather Bannell, floats one to left. It's caught. Here comes the throw to the plate. The throw does not beat him. That's a sac fly that scores Wiltsey, and Bannell's got 2 RBIs. It's 4-1. Well, that might be the guy that we might nominate for player of the game, even though we won't have an interview today because we'll have to get moving. He has definitely been a crucial part of this offense, even though he's gotten 2 RBIs without a hit. He had an RBI ground out in the first. He reached on an E5 later on, and now contributes with a sac fly. Ryan Zimmer's pinch runner still is at first base. And here's Joey Slavin. So that's the only man on it. 4-1 Audubon. Here's the pitch. Slavin, couple milliseconds ahead of that one. It's 0-1. This broadcast is brought to you by Garden State Pet Center. Keep your pet happy and healthy today with the most organic food products available in South Jersey. Visit 7 days a week at 226 South White Horse Pike in Audubon, or visit online anytime at exoticpetsnj.com as there's a base hit in the right field. Picked up. Here comes the throw from Carlini to third. It's going to beat him by a couple steps, not in time. Throw down to second. He got him! What a throw down at second base. A close call, and that will retire the side. We might have to take a look at that one to see if that was the right call, but Slavin tried to advance an extra 90 feet, and it bites him in the tush. Audubon gets 2 runs home on an RBI and a sac fly by Trent Bannell. It's 4-1 after 5. Top of the 6th, Bryce Dempsey looking for scoreless inning number 8. Looking to keep that ERA at 3 goose eggs. Audubon got 2 runs in the bottom of the 5th, partially thanks to a Trent Bannell sac fly and an RBI single by Ryan Zimmer. It's Edmiston, Guire, and Carlini, the 2, 3, and 4 spot for the Scotties in the top of the 6th. That one's fouled back, and it's 1-2. Calora ended the 5th with 75 pitches, and with the lefty Guire now going 100% in the bullpen, it looks like Corolla's day may be done. I'm sorry, Calora's day may be done. There is not a Toyota Corolla on the mound. 2-2. Although, hey, with the reliability of a Corolla, you could probably get a complete game out of it.
Maybe.
2-2 from Dempsey. Just missed below the knees. 3-2. Oh my goodness.
Is that Bannell again?
That is Bannell. Must have had an extra cup of coffee this morning.
Yes, I think so. Oh.
3 balls, 2 strikes to Tyler Edmiston. Swing and a miss. He got him. Strikeout number 2 for Dempsey. 1 away. Here's Guire. He's reached base twice on a fielder's choice and a walk, but still 0 for 1. Here's the lefty Guire. That one's a rocket to right. That one drops in front of Bannell for a base hit. And a 1-out knock. Back to Carlini. There's a strike, 0-1. Foul back. 0-2. Kyle Foster, the catcher, will be on deck. 4-1 Audubon here in the top of the 6th. A couple of drops coming down above us here. A light band coming through, and a foul ball down the third base line. By the way, with Bryce Dempsey in the game since the last inning, Jason Stocklin has taken over in left field. No other defensive changes from what we can see. Looks pretty standard to us. There's a strike. 2 down. After the strikeout by Dempsey, he's got 2 in this frame, 3 total. And here's Kyle Forster, 1 for 2. Did you just hear that?
What?
Trent Bannell said, "I have a migraine." Charlie just said, "It's because you're screaming like a maniac." I told you this team's got good chemistry.
Yes.
I think they've got even better chemistry than they've had in the 2 other years that I've covered them. They're loose, they're fun. Everybody seems to like each other. You know, they're all riding on vibes right now. It's 1-1. It's been overcast since Wednesday. This is the time of year where you go April showers, bring May flowers, and then it still rains in May. A stolen base by Carlini. There's a strike, 2-2. Audubon's going to look to shut the door here in the bottom of the 6th.
A little bit more than a few drops now.
Yeah, a little bit more than that, but we're staying mostly dry up here in the booth. Here comes the throw down to first. Caladros takes care of it, and the side is retired. Bordentown down to their final 3 outs. We go to the bottom of the 6th, 4-1 Green Wave. Bottom of the sixth, couple drops coming down here, and Calora still out on the hill. He might have a 6-inning quasi-complete game. A la Jared Weaver in 2008, but that one's outside, 1-0. He was at 75 pitches going into the sixth and gave up 2 runs on an RBI single and a sac fly. And now a line drive to right by Caladros is foul. Ground ball. Out to second. Throw down to first is in time. 1 away. And Caladros is retired here for Jack Dempsey. Now, this sounds unbelievable to say, but we just hit the 1 hour, 10-minute mark. In the one day that I needed a game to go somewhat quickly, knock on wood.
Don't jinx it.
Don't jinx it. But we actually have gotten one of the fastest games I've ever covered. I can't remember the last time I had a 7-inning game under 2 hours. I mean, you could say yesterday with Stockton and Rutgers Camden, but that wasn't a 7-inning game. That went 2 hours 29 for a 9-inning matchup. Ground ball out to short. Beautiful throw by Dwyer, and Bell with the big stretch over at first. 2 down. Last chance for Audubon on the offensive side of the ball. Here's Bryce Dempsey after his brother rounded out. There's a strike. Otherwise, besides the rain and the overcast, it was a nice day. 63 degrees at first pitch with a very slight breeze. And this rain should be out of here in 20, 30 minutes. That one's hit out to right. Dempsey's got a base hit. A 2-out knock to keep Audubon's offensive dreams alive and to add a little more insurance here in the sixth. Here is Connor Chester, the number 8 hitter. There's a strike. It was actually a game between Cleveland and Boston a couple weeks ago. That was the fastest game in the pitch clock era at 1 hour and 49 minutes. That's like an hour 20 if you're one of the people that leaves early to beat the traffic. I mean, it's 0-2 to Chester, but for Major League Baseball specifically, I do somewhat miss the classic 3-hour game where you'd just be in there, you'd have a couple hot dogs, and you'd be able to, on a nice summer day, relax. Swing and a miss. Chester goes down on strikes. Audubon looks to slam the door, and they look to do it in record time. We go to the 7th, 4-1, Green Wave. Tommy D's Home Design Center has opened a second location on Garden State Pet Center is an independently owned full-service pet store. Our specialty is promoting companionship between people and animals by providing the healthiest product choices available, including all-natural foods, supplements that support and relieve health issues, and innovative products for pet parents. Our goal is to provide our customers with a relaxing environment, and while we're not striving to be the biggest store on the East Coast, we're striving to be the best. No other pet store will make you feel at home like we do. At Garden State Pet Center, we view pets as members of the family. We don't believe in fast, high-pressure sales, but instead matching up the right pet with the right owners, as you are making a lifelong commitment. Together with our team members, we would like your visit to our store to be both enjoyable and educational. Simply drop in and take a look around. View the birds, reptiles, small animals, toys, food, cages, and miscellaneous items. Learn of the services we have to offer and decide for yourself if this is the store you'd like to call your home away from home.
Victor Santucci, owner of Garden State Pet Center. Visit us today at 226 South Whitehorse Pike in Audubon, New Jersey. We're open 7 days a week for all of your pets' needs.
top of the 7th inning. Bryce Dempsey looking for a 9-out save. And actually it would be a safe situation anyway, but in a 4-1 game, Bordentown is going to look to stay alive. First pitch is down, one ball. It'll be Andrew Foster, Bell, and Roselle. Foster 0 for 1, a walk and a strikeout. It's 1-1.
In the dirt.
2-1. This broadcast is brought to you by Tommy D's Home Improvement. Make your dream kitchen come true today with wholesale kitchen cabinets and countertops at heavily discounted rates. Visit today at 612 Creek Road in Belmar, next to the 42 on-ramp that drops in front of Copsetta for a base hit to start the 7th. By the way, an out-of-town score update. Paulsboro leads Spotswood 4-2 in the bottom of the 5th. Here's Connor Bell, the lefty, who was going to pitch for Bordentown, but they decided to give Calora the full 6 innings. He finishes with 86. There's a strike. It looks like the scoring has stalled for Haddon Heights and Haddonfield. It's 9-0 in the bottom of the 6th. Rocketed out to right. That one drops in front of Bannell. Nice save to spear that one in right field on a hop. And a strong throw to third holds him at second base. But back-to-back singles by Bordentown, unfortunately, bring the tying run to the plate. Woodstown leads 2-1 in the bottom of the 4th. There is an arm warming up in the pen for the Green Wave. That's Josh Nolan, the right-hander. Don't forget, Saturday and Sunday, we've got 6 games for the Thank You Classic, the 3rd annual event that for once is being played in full. We were supposed to have a weekend just like this last year, but it got rained out, and now it looks like we'll be in a much better space for that this year. We kick off the weekend with Haddon Township and Timber Creek in about an hour and a half, and then we've got Gloucester and Kings Christian at 9 a.m. tomorrow. Red Bank Catholic and Gloucester Catholic, 2 top 10 teams in the state. That's at 11:30 a.m. start time. St. Peter's Prep and Cherokee is the 2 o'clock game. And at 7 o'clock, I will be giving up the microphone for the first time in 304 broadcasts, as Gavin Van Rel will call his first full game as the lead commentator for 7 o'clock Delsea versus Notre Dame. Swing and a miss. Sunday, we've got 2 games at Joe Bar's Field in Brooklawn. That is Toms River East versus Bayonne, where a lot of my family's from, actually. That's a 2 o'clock game. And then 4:30 is Pope John versus Donovan Catholic. Count is 1 and 2. Dempsey up to 32 pitches. Tying run at the dish. Here's the pitch. Swing! I miss. He got him. 1 down. After the back-to-back base hits, here's the number 9 hitter, Anthony DeZubak. There's a strike, 0-1. Ground ball out to third. Out to short, rather. They get the lead runner, and they got him there. 2 down. The lineup turns back over to Tredago, but Bordentown's down to their last call. So a 6-5 fielder's choice brings up Tredago. He had a walk, a strike, and 2 strikeouts tonight. Audubon would improve to 5-3 with the win. It would send Rich Horan to, let's see, 593, 594, 595, 596. So that would bring them to 597 career wins. That one is down. 3-0, or 2-0 rather. Bordentown would fall to 7-3 after winning 7 of 8 games and 4 in a row. They would fall on that skid, and Audubon plays Rancocas Valley tomorrow at 1 p.m. And then they play Haddonfield on Monday. Then they've got on the 20th. Excuse me. Let me just make sure I'm right here. Woodstown on the 24th, followed up by PVI on the 26th. That's in Margate, and that's ball 4. Bases are bases are going to be loaded. Wade Geis now coming out.
Now we want to keep everything in front here, so if it's double in the gap, we can't let them get all 3.
So Wade Geis coming out to talk to his infield here. Not sure if they're going to make a pitching change just because he's had a bit of a rocky inning. 2 singles and a walk, but he's held it together. He got those outs in the infield, but now the question is going to be, I mean, you're facing the meat of the order. How much risk do you take here? You've got Josh Nolan warming up in the pen, who is reliable, but also a little inexperienced. I mean, not to say that he's bad in any way. He's a great pitcher, but he hasn't been that familiar with these kind of situations. Bryce Dempsey is, and he's gotten out of bases loaded jams before. There's a reason why he's gotten 8 scoreless innings this year. So 2 down, bases loaded, and Bordentown brings their number 2 hitter to the plate, Edmiston, with the bases loaded. He is the go-ahead run. First pitch, ball 1. But the bases are loaded. Here's the pitch, fouled back, 1-1. I mean, Dempsey's been working hard in this relief outing. You know, he's kind of been the guy that eats a lot of innings for this team. Especially if you're down early, you know, he's the guy that's going to come on and he's going to put the tourniquet on. Pitch number 42 for him. Misses low, 2-1. I think the situation is here, you keep him on a very tight leash. You've got Josh Nolan ready. He knows the situation. You pull the plug if he doesn't get the out here. You can't allow that to go unnoticed. That one's low, 3-1. Just doesn't seem like he's got the same control. I mean, look, he's been great. He's 2 2/3 innings, but what do we always say? The last out is always the toughest one to get. And that is ball 4. Bases loaded walk, and Ryan Knoll, who just came back from paternity leave on Monday, will pull the plug on Bryce Dempsey with 44 pitches thrown, 2 2/3 innings, and an earned run that comes on a bases loaded walk. Bordentown stays alive. It's 4-2 here in the 7th. Josh Nolan, the junior right-hander, comes in. Bryce Dempsey moves back out to left field. Jason Stockland comes in. He will go back to the dugout, and we'll take a quick break. Josh Nolan just needs 1 out, possibly 3 strikes, maybe more, maybe less, to get out of the jam. We'll be right back after this. I apologize, it's not Josh Nolan. Lance Furness, the junior right-hander, just needs one out. And it comes through the middle of the order. Luke Guire, the shortstop, takes a ball 1-0. It's 4-2 Bordentown after a bases-loaded walk. 3 scoreless innings for Furness this year. That one's high, 2-0. This makes your hairs on your neck stand up a little. He had a 6.3 ERA last year, a 3.32 career mark across 2 seasons. And it's 3-0. Oh, boy. Never easy with these guys. But Bordentown, with 4 straight wins, are going to make sure that streak will continue. It's ball 4 and a 4-pitch walk. The tying run is 90 feet away for Carlini.
Our power strip's wet. Our power strip's wet.
Yeah, you just gotta wipe it off.
Yeah, give me a second.
First pitch. Strike 1 to Carlini. This is a nail biter here. 0-1 from Furness. He gets another one. It's 0-2. Remember, no post-game show tonight. We'll be moving right over to Belmar to get this second game in with Hatton Township and Timber Creek. Last call, the 0-2, just missed. I think the philosophy is that you got that 4-pitch walk, you don't swing at anything you don't like. Line drive, out to short. Wiltsey is there. He'll throw to first. It's in time! And Audubon, by the skin of their teeth, they hang on. Bordentown leaves the bases loaded. And in 1 hour and 36 minutes, they eke out a win 4-3. Unbelievable. I can't believe what I just saw. They were about 5 feet away from blowing a 4-1 lead. And they hang on. They improved to 5-3 on the young campaign. Win number 597 for Rich Horan. And that'll be all for us tonight. Again, no post-game interview, but your player of the game presented by Harper Driving School is Trent Bannell. He had 2 of Audubon's 4 RBIs, including an RBI ground out in the first and a sac fly in the 4th. Bordentown got 2 runs in the top of the 7th, but just couldn't hang on. Well, now we've got some time bought. I thought it was going to be 6:30 when we were done, and now we're out of here.
So he doesn't get the chemistry player of the day, but he gets the player of the game.
Absolutely. That's all for us here on DWB. 4-3, Audubon beats Bordentown. From everybody here on our wonderful crew, our social media coordinator, Anthony DePalma, our graphics crew, Gavin Van Rel and Caleb Lane, my wonderful producer for coming out for broadcast number 300, Donna Wilkins. I'm Dan